Yeah. Hey, folks, it is the 2nd of March, and today we're going over chapters 131 and 132 out of book. We're really close to being done. I think we're going to finish this book up the week after spring break. I'm going to take one final test over it later that week, and then we'll be done with it. And from then on out, I'm going to have some notes for you for the rest of our world history stuff. So the terms we have on the board are Philip II, the Battle of Lepanto, the Netherlands character, why did these people revolt, the Duke of Alva, William the Silent, and Holland's legacy. All right, I'm going to have the faithful students in the class help us out with that. Yeah.
You said Holland's legacy.
Like that bold stuff at the end.
So it's just like, let me see. Josh, that might sound like okay.
No, it's not a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. Yeah, the Dutch people in Holland, the Netherlands.
Calvin Klein. It must be fake.
Creepy.
Because he once called the word kiwi one time.
Who?
Alondra once called the word kiwi. And she said Calvin Klein.
Wow.
It was one word. The start of the K.
It was really small. It was like right there.
Calvin is even so.
I know, but
The word said kiwi. And Alondra was Calvin Klein. So now we call it kiwi Calvin Klein.
It's just kill all the heretics.
What's the paper you didn't turn in?
yeah, I saw like
Oh.
You have any questions about it?
Oh! That was loud.
Yes.
Oh, so crazy. That's a huge.
All right, does anybody need more time? All right, sounds like we're good.
Okay, goes both ways.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I need your attention real quick. So let me discuss a little bit. Turn it off. It's like, I don't know, there's a delay on it too. Thank you. Hey, so, all right, so we've already talked a bit about the Holy Roman Empire and about how Charles V had all of this land, right? He had most of the known Americas at that time. He had expansive lands through Europe, and he's going to spend almost his entire reign traveling on horseback from one region to another, putting down revolts, carrying out problems that have to do with his nobles and all this other stuff. And so he's going to come to the decision that it's all just too big for one person to manage. So he's going to divide it in half between his brother and his son. And he's going to retire to a monastery. And he's going to live a short time after that, I think like gardening and stuff like that, until he passes on. Now, his son, Philip II, is going to be king of Spain. He's also going to have the Americas, and he's also going to have the Netherlands. Well, the Netherlands caught on fire with the Protestant Reformation. And because of that, he saw this as revolt. He also wanted to rule despotically, right? So that means like he wanted to control their government, their taxes, and their rights without asking their permission. So they're going to lead an armed revolt against this. It's not going to go too well. But I almost forgot. Before that, Philip is going to have a very large naval success led by this guy, Don John, an Austrian general and naval captain, who's going to lead a very massive victory against the Ottoman Turks in the Mediterranean Sea. So, you know, the Mediterranean Sea, we usually talk about that last year. We're talking about the history of Greece and Rome. Well, during the period of the Ottoman Empire, they're going to pretty much run that ocean. And whenever Europeans would try to use that sea, often Turkish pirates would board their vessels, kill most of the people on board, and enslave the rest. They also conducted a lot of pirate raids on cities and stuff like that. This was a constant threat and problem for Europe. And so, under the auspices of essentially a crusade, a naval crusade, you're going to have all this culminate at the Battle of Lepanto in Greece. And you're going to have Don John is going to lead a complete massive victory against the Ottoman Navy. The Ottomans are never going to recover. Some parts, like the Moroccans, are going to retain parts of their navy. And they're actually going to be a pirate problem all the way through the days of early America. Even Thomas Jefferson's going to have a problem with Moroccan pirates. But so, yeah, this had the auspices of essentially like a crusade. It was said that during the battle, Don John sang and even danced. He was so happy about like how the battle was going and stuff. So that it was like these were like happy warriors, right? Like this was like something that they wanted to do their whole life. That crusading spirit was still around within a lot of Christendom at this time, and it just gave purpose, I guess you could say. So this is going to remove a lot of anxiety for a lot of nations in Europe. As we're going to talk about later, Europe had faced a lot of problems from the Ottomans. In fact, there's going to be one point where the Ottoman Empire almost takes over Austria. They had pushed so far through Eastern Europe that they almost had a real good chance of taking over most of Western Europe. And so this was essentially a resurgence. So we're talking about the Netherlands. This is the Netherlands here. They're bordered with France across the English Channel. And so that it's their proximity to England is why England's so keen on helping them out. And also they have some, they're going to have some religious similarities we'll see later. The Germanic lands were largely still separated. But yeah, the Netherlands was defined by its independent many little nations. You had small republics. And a lot of these little republics were based around industry. A very strong middle class where people got to vote and people chipped in for their common defense. And they had their individual rights and they tried not to bow down to a king. And so you see, this is a lot of precursor stuff to America. And a lot of people from the Netherlands are going to come to the colonies, we're going to see later. Yeah, here's Spain all the way over here. So they saw Philip II as essentially a foreign ruler who was like stepping on their necks. Here we see a map kind of breaking it down. Get Luxembourg, Friedland, Holland. Oops, I skipped it. So... But yeah, like some of like they weren't even united with language. So like over here, a lot of these people spoke French. Over here, some of these people spoke German, and up here they spoke Dutch, and so they weren't united by much. Down here, a lot of these people were still Catholic. Up over here, a lot of these people were moving on to Calvinism and Lutheranism, but they all still wanted their independence from these great rulers. Philip II is going to flex his muscle once there's revolts against his edicts, and he's going to send this guy, the ruthless Duke of Alva. The Duke of Alva is going to come in with a massive army and squash these small cities that are going to, they're going to squash these small cities that revolted against Philip. He's then going to hold religious trials. Remember, we talked about inquisitions, and he would personally oversee these. And whenever it was found that somebody was deemed either a heretic or a traitor, he took over from there and he would have them executed. And as your book said, beheadings, burning at the stake, burying people alive, torturing them to death. He was a very, very cruel guy. You see, he's holding this rod, very symbolic. The rod is always seen as a sign of power and punishment whenever you see something like this, like a painting. So, and of course, these Inquisition trials were known as the Council of Blood. So, like, little note in life, you know, if you're invited to go defend yourself in front of a Council of Blood, maybe you should just run away first because that doesn't sound good. All right, so. Yeah, it wasn't very well, and you can see in this picture, this is a Dutch noble. and he's having to bow and beg for his own life. And you see in the background just executions. So this is a very tough time. The thing is, though, this Inquisition was so harsh, so cruel, and they were so arbitrary. It just kind of wore down on the Spanish. They started to lose heart too. England started to send in help as well, and eventually they're going to be able to fight for their freedom. This is that guy we were talking about, Noble, who's going to lead a lot of the revolts over there. And this is William the Silent. And so he's going to be a big moral leader for these folks, someone to join behind. He's eventually going to be assassinated, though. So, point. Of course, muskets back then, were extremely inaccurate. They were basically just like melee weapons. Oh, that's for next time. All right, so, and there we have it. Man, he just looks mean. All right. You like to have that painting staring over your bed every night. All right, so once again, our terms: Philip II, Battle of Lepanto, the Netherlands character. Why did they revolt? The Duke of Alva, William the Silent, and Holland's legacy. So, starting from the top, let's go ahead and let's get William the Second. Or sorry, no, I'm sorry, Philip II. Turn that on. All right.
USRIS.
Oh, shit.
Thank you.
All right, so Philip II was the king of Spain and Portugal. That's right. Yeah, for a little while. And what? Can you read the next part?
Naples and Sicily, and then
Naples, Sicily, and Jure Oxfordus of England.
All right.
and
So thank you very much. Let's go ahead and let's get the Battle of Lepanto.
boom, boom, battle.
Lepanto.
You said you can't read that. No, no, okay. I'm gonna smack you. She just lays there.
so the Battle of Lepanto took place in the Gulf of Lepanto. The battle gave a blow to the sea power of the Turks. It would never recover. And it also ended their aggressive warfare in the Mediterranean. Very good. All right. You can find room. The Netherlands character. It's all right. It's all right. It takes some getting used to writing on the board. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
They gotta get a some shit. What was your number? 16.
All right, so the Netherlands character, Habsburg owned, they were owned by the Habsburgs, not united, great commerce affected by the Reformation. Yep, that's true. Hey, why did they revolt though? Why didn't they just like nod their heads to the king, like pay their taxes, and change their religion and all that stuff?
And then Jake just.
Just
combine it. And then if you
Girl, did you No, it's not.
I love them though.
Her name's like, it's not.
You love them for ears.
It's hard to hold. Dude, that's like going
Why
years.
is it hot?
Oh, listen, I built it last year, and I've been rebuilt it since 2002.
For ears.
Someone told me that in like 2001 they rebuilt it in 2002. And then it ran all the way till 2020, and I just rebuilt it last year, and it still runs.
Oh, what?
Can you make the
I
weirdest
know
ears
I
you
do.
possibly can?
Yes.
And reads for.
She ain't gonna make it. Yeah. A lot of people like, give me 50 cents. She can offer that.
It's just how they are. It's how they are.
50 cents. Well, okay. Or at least, or no money to get a water off the cafeteria. She would tell me, okay. That's great, right.
How's that coming? Said, what's wrong with it? Just get some, we can read it.
$2.
I'm not like
$4.
I'll
$2.
just wait when I'm ready.
Okay.
What'd you say?
Why is it? Oh.
No,
Oh, my God. It's sad.
the knowledge is my greatest friend. Oh, every bite.
I don't like that.
So the first day,
Huh? I know, I saw.
And then like
So many ways. Oh, you put over.
You better be a
The only one that one.
Why would you sell
it?
existing? Yeah, exactly. Well, you cannot have an open alcohol container to vehicles while moderating.
I don't know how we figure out who was.
Awesome. So why did they go? Religious persecution by Philip's rage, yeah. Everywhere stirred intense indignation, rioting by mobs, destroyed churches, and stole treasure. Very good, very good. All right, now next, the Duke of Alva. Good, the Duke of Alva. Y'all had it? All right, help me.
Oh, we know they're all.
Who's right?
You?
I guess I.
All right, I guess you're right.
Just keep all the flags there. Let's just go to the Jake's.
It's funny because.
We can all just spit. I'm trying to go over there.
Well, Jake and Ryder. At that gas station, my mom was getting the receipt from the, and it just kept on printing out receipts after receipts. The gas station, you know how the gas station is. Wow. Well, I think we had 15 receipts. So you know that white thing that's behind the gas station? That's the office for the Glassware company. There's another white bar behind it. Project.
We pulled in and I just sold this. Hey, you know what we should do? Glass.
You know what's is if Logan's family and glass.
That's what you thought it was?
I'm saying like if your family were a fan of glass.
No, we don't know all companies.
Well, yes.
Well, I mean,
Well, we had to look it up.
now all of them are electric.
Into the
They're
question.
trying to get us to do all
I don't talk to you at like 12.
electric. I know, there's not enough.
All right, so yeah, the Duke of Alva was Philip's best general to reduce the turbulent provinces into submission. That's right. So he was out to go step over some rights. All right, next one, William the Silent.
I don't want to write the
Not William the Loud, not Bill the Loud, but William the Silent.
You're running next time, okay?
That's the deal.
Yeah, it is.
What if we got all this wrong?
Then you fail this quarter, and you're gonna have to repeat the grade. I can't do that. I do it.
They turned the other one in, and it said that I was missing.
You turned it in?
I turned one of those in.
Ready to go. It takes me a while to go back and check the lake work. But, I think tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I'm gonna go back and double check the lake things and the things, the last couple assignments, make sure they're all in. Yeah, if I get a chance this afternoon, I'll work on it, but I got a meeting my last.
She did not say
Thursday.
She did not say
Watch
text.
it.
No, she didn't.
And then she
Just
reminded
like,
us.
I
Yeah,
don't know,
that's
she's
not-
paying attention.
You guys had already left.
No, not the.
No.
You guys had already left.
Sometimes I can turn off my camera, but sometimes they want you to have your camera on just to make sure you're not sleeping.
And I gotta tell you.
Is that the same girl?
Wow,
Like I said, you know,
I hate you.
I hate you so much.
It's not. Oh no, the movie's out.
I told him that we had a test.
Zoe.
He just died. Sorry.
all right. Yes, William the Silent, leader of the Netherlands, German Protestant. Oh, many a state sacrificed himself for death. Hey, very good. Hey, last but certainly not least, Holland's legacies. Friends being friends.
Why does that sound like it would be like a 90s sitcom? Holland's Legacy.
I don't know. Why do you think of it? Sounds like you have your task. Now you just got to make yourself some of that Hollywood. Go ahead and start your sitcom.
Yes.
She quit and she thinks it's like. No, you just.
What?
Wow.
It's called like
Supported it?
a snuffle.
That's what it says.
Supported it. That's not a real word.
Something that I would say.
Support.
Oh, can you support this bicuses so I
And
can
then you
fix
just
this?
dig around and find
I
it.
just kind of wrote down all this stuff.
I was gonna make
You didn't put in your own words. Yeah, they had common schools paid by taxpayer money. Yeah, that's something we do today. You're in
We're
one
gonna
of
make them
those.
for Tina.
Okay,
I don't have fabric.
I don't
Oh, no, I don't have I would just cut up a shirt. I don't have fabric.
And you will enjoy every single second of it.
Hey,
That's how much time
I
you
want to
have
see
that
who
thing.
will win.
I won't yank that thing.
Well, this is
You
really
know,
wrong.
fat
No,
stuff they
not
have
for
on
just
the street?
well in a race.
I get for like 10 a day.
It's a dirt bike race?
No.
They're like this tiny.
So,
They're like really
A
tiny.
foot race?
Like that big.
I know, Mr. Boat Pass. You know the tables how they're all bunched together?
No.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they're all in the middle of the room. So, me and Bo, we tried to race. He beat me like in a landslide. My big old busted hips got stuck.
How would you
The way you explained it.
But anyways, he just slithered his way on through. So we have a game where you have to go in between
Well, Zoe's
legs
also my wife.
of the table. And you have to like
But you're my wife.
race to the end under the tables.
I know.
It is fun.
I'm saying,
I
but
hit
you're
my
my
head.
wife, and
I did hit my head. You know what I would do? I would go who's start. And then I just.
Not wrong.
You just hop into the tables.
See, you might not be able to make it.
Oh. Cross the window, but I still want to see. So if we
That's
have
what
to
she
go
said.
to lunch room after
Well, she
after
turned off
the
the
English,
sheet of
then
it.
we can race after.
I'm not doing it. Mine usually.
Kelby, Kelby,
I
hello.
don't think-
Oh, yeah.
Kelby couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. You know, there's a, you know, like the.
None of that made sense to me, but Alondra wrote
Hey,
it.
you
So
can
whatever.
go down the street.
Wow.
I know, I've done it.
I want to.
All right, so Holland's legacies. The schools were paid for by taxes, religious toleration, and freedom of the press. And, also the first written constitution. Hey, good job, and proud of y'all.
Training wheels on
All right.
that bike.
I actually did have a 5-year-old when we were. It's so funny. Like, when I had kids,
Oh, please. All right, folks, that's going to end it for today. We'll come back tomorrow and knock out some more of this, and then we'll see about Thursday and Friday. Talk to you later.
And then if that is.